Of Madi and the people who want to know something about our East African or African histories. It is a book of the youth. I have written it to bridge the gap between the past and the present as a foundation, as a compass which we must leave our youth to continue with this cultural development of Madi people. It is a book born out of a spark since colonial time. There was a distortion of our cultural structures which governed our Madi people. But to start with, who are the Madi? Where do they come from? And where are they going? And why are they where they are now? In that, I managed to find the Madi by research have come from Omo River Valley of southwestern Ethiopia. We are Omotic tribe who, after leaving Omo, went first to Egypt, and there we were ruled by the pharaohs, the dynasty of the Ethiopians, of the Egyptians. And then we came back to Omo, then we went to Nigeria. The issue of Madi coming from Nigeria is not true. We went to Nigeria and came back to Omo. However, there were some people who came directly from Nigeria after having gone from Omo. That does not mean we originate from Nigeria. Many times, our people and my cousin brothers, who are my local bara, the Lokbara, think we are Nigerians because of the namings like Atiko, Sio, Dawat. But I followed, these are Hausa names, and the Atiko does not mean like in Madi, like in Lokbara, something associated with birth that or fertility. But in Nigeria, in Hausa, it talks of something different. Atiku means gift or father, okay, which is totally different. However, from Omo again, after having come back from Egypt or from Nigeria, we then moved to Sudan, and that is where we stayed in Juba for a very long time. Then came issues of internal intertribal fights, and then came the slave trade. That is that time the Egypto-Turkey, which our people call Totoria or Turkey, the Turkey people. So that is in 1820 when we left Juba and moved to a place called Avori, today known as Loa. Then we gathered there at Avori or Loa for long, very many clans and clans. And then there we called, when we congregated, we called ourselves Bori. And that is where now the chiefdoms I wrote about began. Androga of Pandikre was the first chief, and then followed by the Badas, so many. And then from there, we were followed by the slave trade people, slave traders, and we came to Nimule. But that time, we didn't call it Nimule, we called it Guru, because we wanted to come to a place where there is a valley where we felt we were hiding, and these people won't see us. Some people left the lower, they went to what today they call Mugali, but that wasn't the name. It was Agali. I don't want now problem in Madi. So they Agali. So now they call it Mugali, of course. However, from Nimule, Guru, which we had called Guru, we moved to Lamo today. The district is now called Lamo. That time it was part of Kitiku. We went there and settled there. And when the Madis left for Indriani, then the place was called Madi Ope. That Madi are now no longer here. Okay, but the Parachale, the actually Parachale are Madi. Those are Madi, really the ones we left behind. Then we came to Indriani. After Indriani, some of us, the Yui and the Liba, moved to Ruobonyi to go to where now today Madi Okolo is sitting. And then some continued to Congo, where we are. They are Logo. But those are all Madi. Okay, these are all Madi stock. Now, for those in Moyo and in Metu, from Indriani here, we went to Jaipi. Okay, we first entered Metu at Yeremi. Then there was sleeping sickness issue, so we had to move to Metuli and eventually to Moyo. In Metuli now came the chief of Metuli, Kutulungu 1, and then Metuoru, that is the Lukere 1.
In which year was that movement? When you
this movement, the book I wrote first of all to put it in context. This is a book, a journey of 600 years. It is started from 1400 to 2025. That's within that. We came to Juba in 1400. Okay. Then 1880 was when we left. Those who came to Moyo or Indriani or Cholpi, it was in 1820 when the slave traders were hard on us. Okay, and then eventually, of course, we came to Moyo, and that's where now people like Alikus became chiefs, plus others.
Yes. Now, when you talk.
Thank you very much for that question. This pertinent question. Madi Chiefdoms are autonomous chiefdoms. The story I'm giving people is a researched story, deeply researched. I've moved, I've consulted, I've got some information from some libraries, some books, some writings of other writers, and at this juncture I want to thank some of my colleague historians, although by background I'm a scientist, but I came to realize actually we are all historians. Okay, we have all this art in us. So Madi Chiefdoms are autonomous. We don't have a centralized paramount structure in Madi. What used to happen with the Madi, and that I found on the ground, was Madis, if they had their problem, the chiefs would gather. They pass information among themselves. They gather in a place where they agree and go and sit and discuss their issues and resolve the matter amicably and among themselves and agree. And then that was how they operated. No single paramount chief, no chief had ever surrendered his powers to. And I also found that Madi never had king. And I've seen some TikToks where some people masquerade as Kabakas of Madi, but I haven't come across that. Yeah, if somebody has that and has authentication to it, and then he can give us. But I didn't find. Even Dimo, who is the founder of Madi, wasn't a king. Okay. Now, having said that, coming to the issue of Loprigo, the word Loprigo was first introduced in Madi in 1962, and that was a constitution issue, and they were called constitutional heads. This was an elective position which then Madi district local government elected the late Angelo Izama, may he rest in peace, and he became the Loprigo because this was coined to mean if Madi tribe was taken, because this was a representation of Madi tribe at the legislative council. If Madi was taken like a house, what unites the roof in Madi is called Loprigo, a stick which sticks out and that collects the roof and put it in place. That was when this word first was coined, and this person was called the Loprigo. So he wasn't a chief, he's not a chief, and it has nothing to do with the cultural chiefs. But he coordinated cultural chiefs. Just like today, the district community development officers do coordinate cultural chiefs. Now my question to people who are listening to me or viewing, are community development officers cultural chiefs? If they are, then that Loprigo was also a cultural chief. But if they are not, then that was the elective. Now, this takes me to also tell you that when the British came, they distorted the structure by appointing cultural, even formally appointing the cultural chiefs who they found on the ground anywhere, pro them. For those who were not pro them, they removed them and even got their heads of Askaris or Mondara in Madi to become chiefs. And today, that has brought conflict because Uganda government, I want to thank His Excellency the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for having seen need for reinstatement of the cultural leaders. But the support the government has promised is beginning to bring issues because everybody is now waking up, especially the descendants of the then appointed administrative chiefs are now claiming cultural chiefs. Worse still, the word Opi in Madi means even God is Opi, Robanga is Opi. You are somebody dear to you, you can even refer to that person as Opi. And even the sub-county chief is Opi, parish chiefs are also Opi. So that word has brought issues, and that's why people are now coming for benefits. And that's why this claim is there and this conflict is there.
Yes, now, according to you, how do you see